3. That's it. Only 3 core karmic lessons each of our egos need to learn in manifestation after manifestation after manifestation of being a human. But I'm so different than everyone else, you may exclaim. No, you're not. Your karmic symptoms just appear differently than everyone else's. But really, you're struggling with the same core karmic lesson as a lot of others. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 3 core karmic lessons, what they may look like, and some symptoms that you may encounter for each core karmic lesson. But first, this was a requested video by a few of you. If you have any topics that you would like me to cover, leave me a comment down below and I will create content for you. And please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if this video resonates with you. So to get started, there are 3 core karmic lessons that you, as the universe, needs to overcome because of your ego. These 3 lessons are self-worth, self-love, and non-attachment. In each ego you have, meaning each human incarnation that you will have 1 core karmic lesson. So in this ego, you may have self-worth, then in your next incarnation you may have non-attachment, and then in the incarnation afterwards, you may go back to self-worth. You can only have 1 at a time, and you may learn pieces of your core karmic lesson in this ego, then have to learn other pieces in multiple other incarnations. This aspect falls under my statement of look at the macro, which if you haven't seen that video, I will link it down below. Since you are the universe manifested in physical form, here to experience yourself through human emotion, there is no linear timeline of lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. Each ego incarnation is a compendium of a core karmic lesson that ultimately make up the whole in the end. So at this point, you may be thinking, no, my core karmic lessons are none of these, but rather fear of abandonment, or learning to create boundaries, or getting over addiction. Nope. These are what I call symptom karmic lessons, or smaller lessons, which each stem from a core karmic lesson. So let's take a look at what each core karmic lesson looks like and some symptom karmic lessons that you may encounter so that you can figure out what your core karmic lesson is. Self-worth as a core karmic lesson. Self-worth as a core karmic lesson tends to be in those that have lived through a lot of neglect or abandonment as a child. It may feel like something innately wrong about your being, and the ego may find proof by telling itself stories regarding why a parent was neglectful, why a parent abandoned, or why a parent didn't care. Some symptom karmic lessons, one with self-worth as their core karmic lesson may face are abandonment issues, addictions or attraction to addicts, needing to be the priority within a relationship, anxiety about how you appear to the outside world and or social anxiety, an undercurrent of continuous fear and or phobias, codependency or needing to be needed, lack of boundary setting or not knowing how to set boundaries, heightened clairsenses, especially clairsentience, false outward pride to the point of detriment, narcissistic tendencies, putting yourself in precarious situations without concern or even a thought about your well-being, and heightened sexuality. Self-love as a core karmic lesson. Self-love as a core karmic lesson tends to be in those that grew up with a lot of criticism or expectations from their parents or primary caregivers. It may feel as though you have to prove yourself in everything you do in order to gain approval. It is similar to the work reward system, but the reward in this case is love. This can also be seen in adults who reward themselves with addictive behaviors when they feel that they have accomplished something. So, for example, I've had a long week, so I'm going to enjoy a night out drinking. Some symptom karmic lessons one with self-love as their core karmic lesson may face are physical OCD, perfectionism, or physical tics, anxiety about how you appear to the outside world and or social anxiety, addictive behaviors as a reward system, type A personality, workaholism or severe laziness, crippling fear of failure, always feeling like you have to prove yourself, parental issues of the opposite sex, also known as mommy or daddy issues, repressed sexuality, extreme judgments about others, difficulty with impulsivity control, false arrogance. Non-attachment as a core karmic lesson. Non-attachment is the most interesting of the core karmic lessons because it is both the first and last core karmic lesson that you as the universe manifests. And aspects of it are addressed within every human manifestation. If the higher self creates a new human incarnation, their core karmic lesson will be of non-attachment. This will be seen as needing to become equanimous with all of the egoic pleasures we as humans encounter. Non-attachment is what all religions and philosophies talk about regarding good versus evil. A side note, if you have manifested your twin flame in this incarnation, non-attachment cannot be your core karmic lesson. Some symptom karmic lessons one with non-attachment as their core karmic lesson may face are excessive jealousy in all forms, hoarding, selfishness towards attaining goals, accomplishments, or power, abuse of power, entitlement or the feeling of deserving, righteousness or zeal over personal beliefs or ideas, expecting others to do as you say, not as you do, vices, thrill-seeking, or pornography addiction, obsession with physical pleasures, surrounding yourself with only those who can further you in some way, wanting things your way without regard or concern for anything or anyone else, a crippling fear of death or the unknown. Whenever you find that you have a karmic lesson that is being shown to you, take stock of why you're being triggered. And I can guarantee that the root goes back to either self-worth, self-love, or non-attachment. It's okay if you don't learn your core karmic lesson in this incarnation. It's the absolute hardest thing to do for the ego to be nice to itself. But if you can learn the smaller symptom lessons and get rid of some of those, then your next incarnation with this current core karmic lesson will be much easier to get through. And you'll be that much closer to reintegrating with your pure and true self, the universe. Until next week, all of my best and highest vibrations to you.